Hi there, everybody. This is Mark Bromley, your favorite artist and author of the Yoranthium book series. You're probably wondering, after you've seen the angelic vision of the angelic alignment, if there was the demonic alignment for the Yoranthium Trading Card Game. Yes, I created one of those images too. This is the actual descending descent of the fall of fall of Lucifer. There it is. It's not called that. He's not called that. It's different in the book. But this is the image created for the fall. Of course, you see a whole bunch of double irised eyes in the wings. Those are the witnesses, the watchers. They're there to seal the punishment, the fate of such betrayal. And this is the descent of the demons in the Uranthium book series, because there's quite a few of them. And you'll get to know about that, the whole entire conflict, why it actually exists, and it's all based on acceptable belief and esoterics and many different values of beliefs in our modern society. And this is the descent, and it's the demonic alignment, which is another series of cards that are used in the Yoranthium Trading Card Game to denote certain powerful artifacts and cards that will be go into play. And like I was telling you from the very first game, the cards are rather good size. They're rather detailed. They have a lot of information on them. Uh, they have a lot of mathematics involved in this game. It's very simple. It's simple math. It's easy for a lot of people to understand and children to understand and everything like that. But it's a very complicated game system. Like I said, I had a really terrible experience from the people over at Kickstarter being real meanies about what it takes to actually try to raise awareness and trying to fund campaigns and things like that. And their idea of what a creative person such as myself should get paid or compensated didn't was like basically slavery. It was oppression. It was hatred. It was their cult of woke trying to manipulate and tell me what my game's supposed to be and what the trading card game's supposed to be. And then I collected a whole bunch of real cyber bullies and assholes off of Board Game Geek, which were the worst people in the world. Because all they really wanted, they wanted me to give them my rule books. They wanted the rule book. Now, everybody knows that the game system is the rule book. You can make up any number of things after you have the rules. Once you have the rules, you can even remake the game yourself, especially if it's not copyright protected, especially if there's no if there's not enough legality stand upon, there's a lot of people that would steal it from you. Games Workshop, I realized, was one of them because I've already lost a couple of my game ideas to Games Workshop. Like, for instance, the Eldar Webway. I lost that to Games Workshop. They found a different artist that actually ended up creating the same thing. It follows a totally different rule system than the one that I was designing, but I did actually have a 25 millimeter model of what I designed, and they took that for their own system. And basically, I guess they might still be trolling me in the background. Maybe they're on Board Game Geek and they wanted my trading card game because I made a mention that I could make a trading card game, and I was seeking some funding on Kickstarter to encourage me to actually go that direction. And all I ended up with is these clowns from Board Game Geek trying to exploit me, trying to take advantage of me. Then they attacked my book series that I started writing, Yoranthium. And yeah, they wanted a whole bunch of free work, a bunch of free rules, a bunch of free things that they could just steal from me and exploit me for. And that's just terrible. I mean, you can be a creative genius and treated like this for your whole entire life. And all you said is just, you know what, pay me a livable wage. Give me a livable wage and you get my creative ideas. I got an endless supply of creative ideas. How hard is it just to pay an artist to come up with these creative ideas and go with it? It's not that hard. It's really simple. You pay the artist. You pay the artist a livable wage, a wage that makes it good for them to have the tooling that they need to go forward, create the products that you're making, and then you'll have product, then you can sell it, and all you had to do is pay the creative genius that's behind it. Pay them to make a living. Really simple, really nothing complex about it whatsoever. It's very straight up and forward. Pay me a livable income. Pay me a wage. Don't force me into the North Korea that is here in the city of Northland, in communist controlled Colorado, living in constant poverty since I was a kid, since I was born. Wow. Imagine being an American. Don't be selfish. Don't be stingy. Don't be cruel. Don't be abusive. Pay people a wage so you can get product, so you can get creativity, so you can get good artwork for a good trading card game. I don't have to be the production company, but if you're not going to pay me a wage, I guess I am the production company because you don't want to pay me a wage. So why would I work for you if you're not going to pay me a wage? If you want to twist and distort everything that I write because you have some woke clown sitting in the background that didn't do that went to school for what? Political science and gender studies when they could have taken a class of underwater basket weaving so they could have made those cages for those crab fishermen on deadliest catch so they can go out to the Bering Straits and catch a whole bunch of crabs with the underwater baskets that they weaved. I mean, gosh, that looks like a real job. Not that political science mumbo jumbo. Half the 51% of the population voted for us, so we're going to screw over the other 49%. Wokevists, the cult of woke, the cult of the left. To hell with those idiots, those imbeciles. They're not the creative ones. They're not creating anything good. They're not creating anything useful. All they want to do is just sit there and steal my trading card game, steal my book, steal my art. Just recently, there was another cafe project I applied for. They stole my art in the video that they made for Adams County because they had the homeless person dress up just like my picture that I sent them. The actual picture that I sent them in my portfolio, the homeless one, the homeless picture that you see in one of my videos, they made the homeless person that they were making an example out of, and it wasn't a good example, it was a bad example. They dressed him up exactly like my painting in that video. So they stole my art again. Adams County and North Glen, Colorado stole my art on two projects that I was working on here in the local area. Art thieves all over the place, right here locally, working with the government, stealing from me, not paying me money, not paying me any resource, forcing me into the North Korea that is the United States, that is Colorado, that is Northland, that is Adams County, not paying the artists that are actually creating these images and actually doing these things that can actually do even more than that if they got the funding for it. They just steal from me. That's all they do. And you can see it in their new video because they got this clown acting like they're an artist. All they do is just pull out paper over at some park and draw on one of the benches uh, just some silly images that they just came up with, saying that that's their art. I think that art project actually, when I signed up for it, it was looking for relief. It was looking for an actual type of sculpture that was supposed to go along the wall. And I was thinking like a sculpted gypsum piece to explain housing in the future, how you're going to change housing in the future to a more sustainable environment. And I had this whole entire project that I had decided on that would have involved family housing. It would have involved creating biomass so you can keep the trees alive, the gardens alive, the space between homes. Not everything had to be a multi-family unit in a tiny home or a hovel or, one of your capsulettes or a coffin locker that the globalists want you to sleep in, that the children of the Nazis like Schwab and Soros and these emerge group Nazis want you to live in. Basically, I had a better idea, and I thought I actually covered that when I actually applied for that. But no, they went a totally different way that was completely opposite of what the call for entry was about. And it was just two people lying about the system. It was propaganda. And they stole my artwork, my image of my artwork. And they had the actually homeless person in there dress up exactly like my picture. And you can see my picture, the picture about homelessness that's on this file. Take a look at it. If you see the video, I'm going to probably make a video. I'm going to put that picture right next to the image that I saw so you can exactly see how they stole from me. So you can actually see it. And they made that just recently here in 2023, 2024. I made my picture in 2021, and I applied for that project somewhere in the middle of 2023, somewhere, I think. I can't remember exactly when I applied for it. It was a while back. Uh, and you'll see that they basically want to steal from me, but they don't want to provide income to me. And you know what? I can understand why the Democrats don't want to provide income. I understand why the cult of the woke don't want to provide income to me. I understand why the cult of the far left don't want to provide income to me. It's because I used no money. I have no wealth, no resources, not a single not a single dime to my name. And I ran elections after election right here locally against their candidates, against their puppets, against their trolls, against their poli-sci gender study majors who are just a bunch of imbeciles who play the made up percentages of 51% to 49%. Let's have a civil war kind of politicians. And I took them on and I did well. I did well against all their bullshit candidates, all their perverted, twisted, messed up political Nazis here in the North Korea of Northland, Colorado. And that's exactly what it is. A lot of the trading card game, a lot of the angelic version of this and the descending demon right here, it actually comes from how I feel about this North Korea, Northland, Colorado that I live in. The fact that here I am, a real smart, creative genius that can actually do a lot of different stuff, creating this trading card game, and I'm not getting paid for it. People aren't giving me income. I should be making millions of dollars. They say that a lot of these people that create things that have created far fewer things than me have gotten millions of dollars off of this. And they've created far fewer things. And here I am creating things left and right every single day, and I'm not getting paid. Nobody's offering me help or any assistance, and they just don't care about me, I guess. I guess when I pass away or something like that, all I have is this legacy of videos, and that's part of the reason why I started creating all these videos, because maybe this is the only legacy I'm going to have. But who knows? It looks like in Congress or the Senate, we might actually be cracking down on who can publish things to the internet, and if so, they might actually kick all my videos off the air. They already keep me out of the search engines, so you can't actually find my search engine. Uh, you'll find everybody else that does far less work than me or far less art than me is actually being recognized, and while I'm being completely totally ignored, just because they just don't want to pay me a wage. Yeah, that's why homelessness exists, because people that can do things aren't being paid a wage. It's all just a ruse so that these dishonest real estate companies can force their globalist position of tyranny onto the masses. And that's what it actually is. That's why they're being forced into homelessness. It's because of corruption in politics, corruption in the property management companies. And yeah, that's like one of those BlackRock things, one of those WEF things. Just corruption, just terrible people being promoted to power. And you know where their money's coming from? It's actually coming from you, the taxpayers. That's why they manipulate elections here in the United States. If they manipulate the elections, get their phony baloney, poli-sci, basket weaving, gender study people into office, they know that they got a bunch of people that are just desperate for an income. They'll do what they're told. They'll do everything that they're told, everything that's expected of them, because they're not leaders. They're tools. Yeah, your elected people, the elected Democrats, are just tools. Tools by hidden monarchy, a hidden elitists that don't want the blame for when things go wrong, that they're making going wrong. But they're going to keep these puppets, these tools, these trolls of the Democrat Party in power. So you can blame them. But they're not leaders. There is no four-year college that's going to make you a leader. No degree that will make you a leader. Leadership is something that requires boots on the ground. You actually have to earn it. And this is what the military taught me. You have to earn leadership. To be a real leader, you have to earn it. You can't go to a class and magically take political science and gender studies thinking that you belong as a leader. That's entitlement. That's absurdity. Even if you took all pseudosciences are fake sciences. They generate their own data, they generate their own information, and it's usually a lie that favors a 51 to 49% dishonest values. There's no real fact to what they're actually calling what they claim to be science. There's no fact to it. It's just made up. It's just lies. And a person who follows political science follows lies. If you're lying, you're a terrible leader. So yeah, political science people are not leaders. They are failures. The moment they tell you they're a political science major, they're dishonest. They're bad leadership. Embarrassing leadership too. And that's exactly what it is. Anyways, you can help out my trading card game. It's not easy putting together a trading card game. This trading card game is actually quite complex because it actually goes from a simple card game to an all-out tabletop strategy game. Uh, and it just depends what you really want to play, how you want to play it. And the cards are pretty good size. They're pretty decent. The pictures are pretty good. And this is just a small little corner item. It's probably only about 1 inch on the card, less than that. And it just fills a little bubble telling you the alignment of that card. And that's all that this image actually does. And it's a pretty good sized image. And it's a pretty good image. It's pretty interesting. And yeah, this is one of it. And I have to be careful what I actually tell you about this whole image because some of it that would be spoilers even for the book series of Yoranthium. And the priority right now is actually creating the Yoranthium books because the Yoranthium books are actually important. And I'm the only sole author of it. I've had people offer to come in and help me create the product and stuff like that. I'm not opposed to it, but I keep running into a bunch of exploiters that aren't serious about paying me a wage. And if I'm not receiving any income, I'm sorry. Go somewhere else to pull your scam. Don't try to tell me that you do this and that and you'd help me out and you have no means to actually reward me for the creativity that's basically all mine. Don't do that. Don't be like Kickstarter and send your little wokevists out there and keep demanding something new when you keep just wanting to when Kickstarter people are just what berating, degrading, and hating people. That's what the woke is. The woke is just a bunch of haters. I ran into too many of them, and all they are just haters. And yeah, I don't care about that lifestyle. Why am I going to care about your lifestyle if you don't care about mine? I mean, if you're not sensitive enough to be responsible and friendly and kind when I run into you, I'm just going to reciprocate the same way that you've attacked me. That's all that there is to it. If you treat me badly, I treat you badly. If you treat me nicely, I treat you nicely. You see how that works? You see how relationship works? That's how relationship works. And if you like my artwork and you want a positive relationship, go ahead, go to Yoranthium, buy my shirts, get the books, donate to my cause. Let me know what you want to do. If you really want to be part of this trading card game thing and you want to be part of the system and you want to really truly be part of that, think about this. How do I earn an income as the creative person behind this? And then we have something to work with. Think about that. And that's the direction to go. Getting my book, like I said, it's only $10. It's a lot less than what you're going to give that homeless person down the street. And if you give $10 to get my book, you get an actual product, an American product, an American made product. You get a product made here in the United States. Yes, it's made here in North Korea, United States, sadly, but it is made here in the United States, even if it is North Korea, United States that I'm living in. So just think about that, and uh, and you're creating an American product, an American future. You're creating jobs because there's bigger goals with the trading card game and the books. There might be movies. You know what? I am a big fan of Jim Henson stuff, so it could be puppets. Who knows? You might want to think about that one. And uh, and there you go. It's so simple, so straightforward, and it's pretty cool stuff, isn't it? Yeah, this descending, this demon into descent, kicked out of heaven, kicked out of the, and sent to hell, basically, with watching eyes. Yeah, those aren't evil eyes. Those are watchers. Those are watchers forever watching the evil one. And I think that's pretty much punishment enough, right? And the wings are more like shaped like bells, like they're going to alarm and go off. So, yeah, there it is. And so that tells you a little bit more about the story of Uranthium and the trading card game and why it's going in the direction that it's going in. And if you guys want to be more American, just help me out. Fund the campaign, fund the Uranthium series, and bring it forward. Pretty simple. I'm not asking for too much. I don't think it's too complicated. I think it's pretty straightforward. Of course, the Board Game Geek guys, I don't work with them because they were all exploiters. They were all trying to abuse me and misuse me. So they thought through fear and intimidation they can get what they wanted, and it didn't work for them. So then they came to Goodreads, and then they went over to Barnes and Noble, and they tried to bash everything that I made without actually reading it or even caring about it or even considering it. And they didn't care what they were doing. All they knew is that they were a bunch of wokevists, a bunch of the cult of the woke, and all they wanted to do is get some. Yeah, I think at the time that I was being attacked, that's when they were attacking Rawlings and her series of books, Harry Potter series. Yeah, she was in the news. At the same time, they were attacking me. So this is the wokeivist searching for every single person that they wanted to hate and disagree with. And this is where we see the reality of what woke is. Why stay away from Kickstarter? They're all wokeivists. They are broken. Their whole entire system never worked for me. All of my campaigns were failures with them. And every single campaign, they wanted to dictate, they wanted to see something new. And they basically wanted a whole bunch of work without paying for it. Slavery. They wanted abusive, cruel slavery, and that's woke people. Woke people just want to abuse other people. They want to really seriously mistreat people. I'm done with that whole entire woke thing. I'm over it. I'm sorry if you're part of that woke culture. Get away, walk away, step back from it. It's abusive, it's mean, it's cruel. It's only there to hurt you. Don't be part of it. And that's all I can say about that. And well, anyways, I'm Mark Bromley, the creator of the Uranthium book series. Go and help me out. It's actually a fantastic series, and you'll like that. And this is basically the Descent of Evil, and this is basically the evil alignment, the demon alignment in the Yoranthium Trading Card Game. Thank you very much for looking, and let me know if you want to help me out on that. You have a great day.